Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. So I've been playing Silent Hill Shattered Memories on the Wii. I never really knew I would own a Wii. I have a few of them now, a few Wii U's. So I decided to pick this up recently with Capcom versus whatever, Tatsunoko or whatever it's called, on eBay. I think it was $25 for both shipped together. So I had this on the PSP, but I only played a little bit of it. I heard that the graphics were obviously better on the Wii version and that it was like custom made for the motion controls. So I wanted to check it out. I'm a huge Silent Hill fan. It's one of my favorite series. So even though I have difference of opinion of what some of my favorites are, but anyhow, Silent Hill Shattered Memories is a retelling of the first Silent Hill, which is the only Silent Hill game I now have never played. You're Harry Mason looking for your daughter, and you're going around this town into like the woods, into cabins and schools. I'm in a hospital setting right now. I'm trying to think what else. There's a bunch of different areas you can go to, and it's very linear. Um, it's all first person, but you use your flashlight to look around. You can zoom in on things. There's small puzzles, but they're really more. Sometimes they have to do with like hitting certain things in a certain order, like switches, but they're really more just either motion control puzzles, like you have to open up a cabinet by using the motion control and like grabbing something, opening it, and then taking the item out, or finding a key to open a door, perhaps. One of the cool things I found at the beginning of the game, to spoil this, at least this tiny puzzle, was at the beginning, there's a locked door and everything is very close to each other. So if you need a key for something, most likely it's in the area you're in. It's not like far back. And there was soda cans. And I picked up the soda cans and I heard one of them sounded like something was in it. So I turned the Wiimote upside down and a key fell out of the soda can. So it was kind of like interesting little things like that. While you're playing the game and going through the levels, it pretty much goes like you're like a detective sort of, and like looking around and finding things and listening to messages, and you can take pictures with your phone and see ghosts, and get little backstory on things. You get voicemails, you get text messages, things of that nature, and you sort of piece little things together. Sometimes there's hints on how to proceed in the area you're in, but it goes like this detective scenario, then it goes to you being chased by these demons. So and then that's pretty much the gist of the game. It's like detective area, demons. You can't fight back. You can shake them off you with the Wiimote, or you can like pick up a flare and kind of keep them at bay, but that goes away eventually. So you go through those areas, and then you end up back in your psychiatrist's office at the end of every level, and you answer questions. So the game changes depending on how you answer the questions with the psychiatrist and what you focus on while you're playing. I think there's four endings, and then like a goofy secret UFO one. There might even be more. But if you're in the game and you're focusing a lot on, let's say, breasts, the models of the bad guys tend to become more sexualized. I think there's a different ending, and your clothes change at one point, they said. So the game sort of molds itself to what you're honing in on as you play. If you focus a lot on alcohol in the game, because there's beer and like booze everywhere, and you zoom in and stare at it a lot, you get a different ending. So during the beginning of the game, it says that the game like plays you, and it changes depending on how you play it, and that's true to an extent, but it's not as like fleshed out as you would expect it to be. As I said, it is a retelling or reimagining of the first game. There is no combat, as I've said, so you got to be in that mood to kind of walk around and check things out. It's like a more of a slower game, I would say, than the other Silent Hills. The soundtrack is excellent. I'm pretty sure it's also still done by Akira Yamaoka. The graphics are pretty good, but it's on the Wii, so it's not the best graphics, but they're decent. The Wii U doesn't upconvert the graphics or anything like that. It pretty much just passes through to HDMI, and it is what it is. Trying to think of what else I wanted to mention. I find the controls to be intuitive and interesting. However, they also are very sensitive. So when you move around, like the flashlight whips around very fast. So I'm not so great with the motion controls, whether it's just because I'm not used to them or maybe the sensitivity is a little high. I don't know. I've tried messing with it a bit, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting game. I don't think it's my favorite Silent Hill game. That would probably go to two, three, and I really love Downpour, but it's definitely for me higher than Origins. And I love the story in four. I didn't like the gameplay and the backtracking in four, so I would say it's higher than The Room for me as well. Um, it's an interesting little game. I think if you're a Silent Hill fan, you should probably play it. I think it has some of the tropes and the stuff that you've gotten used to over the years that maybe you enjoy from the series, but it's definitely a easier game. You can't really die. You can get like beaten up and have to start the part over, but you can't die and just like lose data. It seems like if you get chased down by those monsters and they grab you and take you down, if you keep losing life, you just start back up right there. You don't really not back right where you died, but like that section. So it's not like you get like sent way back or have to go all the way back to your save point. Um, there's some interesting characters and kind of a little bit of a new light on the old characters from the first game, which as I said I didn't play, but I read up on and know the story and stuff. So I would recommend Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I know some people were turned off by the motion controls and the reimagining, but I enjoy it. I think it's a fun game, and there's like a handful of good Wii horror games. Cursed Mountain, this one. I heard Escape from Bug Island was I heard Ju-On was okay. So yeah, it's a good game. I would check it out if you're a Silent Hill fan. And I think they did pretty well with the motion controls and tried to put them to good use. So guys, let me know if you've played Silent Hill Shattered Memories and how you think it compares to the other games in the series. Thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.